Hey guys, so this is Divided We Fall. This is Gene Wilder, who's one of my favorite actors, if not my favorite actor. Does watch? It's about the World's Fairs and the World Expositions, Magic of the White City. So it's 1893. I don't know if you guys remember that. I hope so. Anyway, 1893 Chicago World's Fair, full movie, and it's narrated by Gene Wilder. It's real, like, it's just watch. I'm gonna skip the intro. Here we go. Watch, everyone's wearing these black hats. Plus, I'll show you in a minute. Yeah. Is that a real? No. Look at this. We built just like that. I can see it. Look at them. This dude's ripped. This guy's on the phone over here, right here. Look at the hats, guys. Look at the hats. Why does everyone buy the same fucking hat? Oh,
on the morning of May 1st, 1893, a crowd of over 300,000 people began gathering at a new city, built on the shore of Lake Michigan, 7 miles from downtown Chicago. The morning began gray and overcast, but around 10:30, the sky cleared.
Yeah, we do this stuff all the time now. This was 1893. They had horse and buggy, and they built all this. My fucking ass. You don't realize that's how big a person is down there.
Filled with structures of almost impossible size and grandeur, a new Rome or Venice, an elegant city of canals and classical columns. But unlike Rome or Venice, this was a temporary city, built in just 2 years on a reclaimed swamp in Chicago. The press had dubbed it the White City, which was built to be the home of the World's Columbian Exposition of 1893, the Chicago World's Fair. The fair was built to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Columbus discovering America in 1492.
To plant that lie, solidify that lie. Look at it. This is supposed to be Columbus, right?
Even if 1893 was 1 year late.
A sailor and a swordsmith.
After 3 years of planning and building,
coming out of his
today
pants.
The fair would officially open.
Now watch this. Look at that, it's beautiful. That was a picture.
The enormous crowd waited through the morning while a parade of dignitaries spoke from a platform in front of the fair's
Horse and buggies
building.
built this, you guys. Look at how big a person is. They're like, this is like, no, you don't build this with horse and buggies. Come on, guys, please. This is an 1893 Chicago swampland, okay? And these are supposedly, these they just do for fun. They're temporary structures. Doesn't that look very temporary? As we go, you'll see.
Looks like a slightly smaller version of the U.S. Capitol, sitting on the west side of a group of buildings known as the Court of Honor.
Yeah, they did this.
6 enormous,
all with horses.
blinding white classical buildings surrounding a basin of water. The fountain sat at one end of the...
That looks exactly... And I'll find you the... there's motherboards, what do they call it? CPU, central processing unit, in your computer is literally are laid out exactly like our cities. Not even I'll show you that.
Basin in the shape of a mammoth boat, rowed by figures of classical allegories, symbolizing Columbus's discovery of the New World.
That's
Two other fountains flanking the administration building
Fountains were a big, big thing because water is more than we think. It has memory. It has so much power. It has memory. It's alive, basically.
Held a special surprise for later. At the other end of the basin rose a looming statue symbolizing the American.
Okay, this is how tall a person is. Okay, these are here's a person right here. That's the doorways, though. And how did they build these? Like, what? Yeah, this is all temporary structure. This is like 0.1% of the 0.0001% of this temporary park. Does this look temporary down here near this bridge? All these canals are supposedly temporarily built, but they don't have toilets yet. What? Get the fuck out of here with this shit.
Republic. A robed woman.
If anyone could sell me bullshit, it would be Gene fucking Wilder, and I am not buying it.
65 feet high, crowned with laurel leaves, and holding up an orb in one hand and a staff in the other. Behind her, on the east side of the basin, a portico of classical columns.
Oh, look what we built with horse and buggy. See how big a person is right here? Okay, see that with my arrow? See the people? Now look at the buildings. And look at this, they're going out into the water. Yeah, we built this with horse and fucking buggy. Get the fuck on, man. In 1893? Crazy.
Known as the Peristyle. Separated the court of honor from the waters of Lake Michigan.
Look, wait. Yeah, this, like, why would they waste, if they're building these buildings still stand. Do you know that, right? They built a building made of I've done it. It's the Hall of Glass. He'll probably get to it if I'd shut up. But I want to show you Grover Cleveland throwing his Freemason.
All morning, people had arrived at the railroad terminal directly behind the administration building.
These are the imports for the
railway
reset.
Lines from all over the United States converged at the Columbian Exposition. No crowd of this size had ever before been assembled in one place in the United States.
Yes, with horse and buggy. Of course they built this with horse and buggy, guys. Look, anyone could do that. It's so simple. Look. Yeah. Look at these over here. Like, come on, man. You know, these things are huge. They're... Beautiful monarch.
The enormous crowd found it hard to see the dignitaries speaking.
Watch this. Oh, wait.
Surrounded by a sea of people, it was almost impossible to hear them. They could barely pick out Chicago's bearded and rotund mayor, Carter Harrison, a popular and corrupt booster of the fair. Toward noon, the familiar bulk and the bristling mustache of U.S. President Grover Cleveland made his way to the front of the platform.
Boom! What's that right there, guys? Freemason hand signal. One hand in coat. That means it's a signal for the Freemasons. And think about it. All this masonry around us and all this masonry that I'm showing you in this 1893 expo is not at all. It's just a way to... these buildings were here when they got here, when Columbus or whoever got here. And me being Native American and talking to my grandma about our... she's passed away now, but she told me the history. Cherokees do verbal history, even though we have a very good written language and stuff. But verbally, she said, yeah, all the Capitol buildings, California, Arizona, even out here in the West, all over the whole United States, the Native Americans said those domed Capitol buildings, all these domed buildings and shit were here when we got here. 10,000 years, or, you know, a couple thousand years, whatever. They've been here. They're not, we didn't build them. They've been here. And that's what every Capitol building, they're all over the world. Look up star forts. I'll do a whole thing on star forts. Just type in star forts and you'll know.
He announced that the Columbian Exposition would mark the amazing progress of the New World in the 400 years since.
Oh, Freemason is literally that. Freemason. Free brickwork, free buildings. So they got there. There was the Indians doing their thing, and they didn't like the buildings, or they knew what they were from. They said they were from when giants lived in them and shit. They knew they lived alongside of them. That was one thing my grandma told me, that there was giants. I said, what can you tell me about the history, of our people? She said, well, there was giants, number one. There's different people, like other kinds of, like a few different type of people, not like black, white, or anything, but like giants and dwarves, not dwarves, like gnomes. Those, and I believe I know the gnomes are still around. There's a channel where a guy that is dead serious. He's in Norway, and I think he does it. I think he can do it. My mom was really into gnomes. She had a book that showed all their backpacks and stuff. Okay, I'll continue with the Gene Wilder.
Since Columbus landed, that it would show the world the glorious story of the United States of America, the unparalleled advancement and wonderful accomplishments of a